the dark truth behind our perfect family image. Before we begin the story, make sure to subscribe to our channel and never miss more incredible stories every day. My mother smiles for the crowd and mouths, "Don't ruin us." I'm standing behind the curtain of the Ridgeview Elementary Bright Futures Gala, headset on, phone in hand, watching our family's highlight reel loop on the projector like scripture. Vanessa Hart, my mom, laughs into a mic in her cream dress. Grant, my stepdad, hands out raffle tickets like he's Santa, and Caleb, my little brother, poses with a giant check for our scholarship fund. Online, we're the Hearts. Church on Sundays, charity on Saturdays, matching sweaters by Tuesday. I'm the reason it looks effortless. I schedule the posts, color grade the videos, write captions that sound like love. I know which angle hides the crack in the dining room wall and which filter makes my mother's eyes look softer. I also know the rules. No candid photos, no questions about money, no mentioning the family meetings. Break a rule, and you don't get yelled at. You get erased. Tonight, Mom's smile stays perfect while her fingers crush my wrist behind the curtain. After this, she whispers without moving her lips, "You're fixing the drive issue. If you can't disappear." "The drive issue?" I whisper back. "It's just our raw footage." Her nails dig deeper. "It's not just footage, Mia." My phone buzzes again, 3 notifications stacked like a warning. One is from our donation platform. Stripe payout failed. Another is a Gmail alert for an account I don't remember logging into. New sign-in from unknown device. The third is a calendar reminder I never created. Lockbox, 10:30 p.m., basement. I look up and catch Grant watching me from the stage, his public face calm, his private eyes flat. He taps his watch once, slow, like he's counting down. I should walk away and let the reel keep playing, but my cursor hovers over download full archive, and I feel the whole perfect story tremble. Then the projector glitches and flashes a single frame I've never seen before. Timestamp 10:12 p.m., labeled Basement Cam. On the screen, a hidden door yawns open behind our family photos. People ask me all the time how my mom does it. Vanessa is goals. The moms at church say, like she's a Pinterest board that learned to breathe. They don't see her at 5:07 a.m. In the kitchen, face bare, voice sharp, reading our day like a judge reading a sentence. Caleb, hoodie with the school logo. No wrinkles. "Yes, ma'am." Mia, post the family verse at 8. Caption, "Grateful for another chance to serve." I already drafted it. Grant slides in behind her, quiet as a shadow. He checks the pantry, the locks, the cameras. "And nobody goes off script today," he says, like it's about lighting, not obedience. We become that family after my biological dad leaves when I'm 14. Mom decides pain is ugly and ugly doesn't get invited places. She starts volunteering, then leading, then hosting. We rebuild our reputation one casserole and one Facebook live at a time. When Caleb gets into Ridgeview and Mom's fundraiser posts start popping, she calls it God's restoration. I call it a rebrand. By 21, I'm running her accounts. I'm the one who tells her that certain thumbnails make her look more approachable. I'm the one who deletes comments like, "Where did your daughter go?" when I spend a week locked in my room for talking back. I'm the one who photoshops bruises out of Caleb's baseball pictures because Grant says, "Clumsy boys don't inspire donors." The house is immaculate because mess equals questions. Our smiles are timed. Even our prayers have beats, like a song. Grant calls it discipline. Mom calls it structure. I call it a stage where the curtains never close. The first time I think of leaving, I'm 26, sitting in my car outside my tiny apartment, my work studio. Mom insists on calling it. Watching our latest reel hit 100K views. Mom texts me, "Proud of you. Don't forget who gave you purpose." Then, seconds later, another text comes from Grant's number, but it's not his usual curt style. "Delete the basement folder." Now, I stare at the screen, heart banging, because I've never seen a basement folder before tonight. After the gala, I do what I always do. I clean up the narrative. I drive back to the house in my own car so nobody can say they forgot me. The front yard is lit like a magazine shoot, and the porch camera tracks my steps with a tiny red wink. Inside, the smell of lemon cleaner hits first, Mom's signature. Second is silence. Caleb's shoes are lined up too neatly. Grant's office door is shut, the brass knob polished, a strip of painter's tape across the frame like a boundary line. I head to my old editing nook off the kitchen, open my laptop, and plug in the external drive Mom calls the ministry archive. It's a chunky black lacy with a label written in her cursive, Family JOY. The drive mounts, but instead of the usual folder tree, a window pops up asking for a password. That's new. I check the system log because I'm me, because I can't not. The last access is stamped 10:13 p.m. while I'm backstage watching the projector glitch. User, Gart_admin. Location services, basement. Okay. I say out loud, trying to make it normal. Maybe Grant finally learned cyber hygiene. My phone buzzes again. The calendar reminder I didn't create now has details. Bring the envelopes. No fingerprints. 11 p.m. Under it is a shared link, Google Drive, titled Room. I click it. Access denied. I hear a floorboard creak above me, then the faint thunk of something heavy being moved. My skin goes cold. The basement door is off the hallway near the laundry, usually locked because of spiders, according to Mom. Spiders that need a deadbolt. I walk to it anyway and kneel. The deadbolt is slid open. I'm telling myself it's an accident, that maybe Caleb finally got brave and opened it for a prank, when my fingers brush something wedged under the door, a plain white envelope, unsealed, with my name typed on the front. I pull it free and peek inside. The paper is crisp, official, the kind that smells like toner and trouble. I catch a line that makes my stomach drop. Primary holder, MIA heart. The envelope contains a statement for an account I never opened. By morning, the gala photos are everywhere. Mom reposts the school's thank you graphic with humbled to serve and a heart emoji. Comments pour in, you're such an inspiration. Couple goals. Caleb is so respectful. I'm tagged in exactly 0 of them, like always. At 7:22 a.m., Mom texts our group chat. Heart home. A screenshot of the fundraiser total. $47,380. 19. Under it. Proud. Family meeting at 8. Cameras on. Cameras on means my face, my posture, my tone, all recorded. Mom says it keeps us accountable. Grant says it prevents lies. I say nothing, because silence is safer. They're waiting in the living room when I arrive. The room staged like a lifestyle vlog. Throw blanket draped, flowers fresh, Bible open to a highlighted page. A phone tripod sits on the coffee table, red light blinking. Mom smiles at the lens first. Good morning, friends. We're starting our day with gratitude. Then she turns the smile off like a switch and looks at me. Hand over the envelope. My throat tightens. What envelope? Grant doesn't raise his voice. He just stands, steps close enough that I smell his aftershave. Don't perform dumb, Mia. Caleb is on the couch, hands shoved between his knees. His eyes flick to the hallway, toward the basement door, then away. That tiny movement is the loudest thing in the room. I pull the envelope from my bag. Mom takes it with 2 fingers like it's contaminated. She slides out the statement and holds it low, out of the camera's frame, like she's done this dance before. Do you know what this is? She asks. It says on the primary holder. I whisper. I didn't open anything. Grant reaches over and clicks the tripod off. The red light dies. Rule 1 in our house is spoken only when the camera is off. If we can't control the story, Mom says, voice flat, we control the person telling it. What does that mean? I ask, already knowing. Grant nods toward my phone on the table. Give it. When I hesitate, Mom's eyes go hard. Fix this, Mia, or you don't come back here. Grant's hand closes around my wrist, gentle in a way that feels like a threat. And you don't talk to anyone, he adds. Not Diane, not your coworkers, not the church. Then he tells me what's in the basement, and my blood freezes. Grant doesn't explain it like a confession. He explains it like policy. The basement is private, he says. It stays private. That's why you're here, Mia. You keep things clean. Mom slides the statement back into the envelope and tucks it into her planner like it's a grocery coupon. We built trust in this town, she says. If our name gets dragged, Caleb loses his scholarship, the church loses donors, and your little career loses clients. Do you want to be the girl who destroys her own family? I just want to know why my name is on an account, I say. Mom's smile returns, thin, sharp. Because you're dependable. Caleb's knee bounces faster. He keeps swallowing like he's trying to push down words. When Mom looks away, he lifts his sleeve and scratches his wrist. 3 short scratches, a pause, then 2 more. I recognize it because I taught him Morse code when we were kids for spy games. 3-2. C.A. Caleb. Ask. Grant notices my stare and steps between us. We're done, he says. Your phone stays. You'll use the family iPad until you fix the problem. Mom stands and opens the front door like she's showing me out of a store. Go to your apartment, she says. Calm down. Think about the damage you could do. It's exile wrapped in politeness. My credit card declines at the gas station an hour later. At 1:03 p.m., my direct deposit alert pings. Then a second alert follows. Account restricted. The bank app shows a red banner. Fraud review in progress. I call Mom. It goes to voicemail. I call Caleb. It rings once, then stops. I call Aunt Diane, the one adult in my life who still says what she means, and she answers on the second ring. Hey kid, she says. You sound like you're shaking. They froze my bank, I say. They're using my name for something. There's a long breath on the line. Mia, Diane says quietly. Did you finally find the room? My throat goes tight. You know about it? Not everything, she says. But enough to tell you this. Grant doesn't threaten unless he's cornered. I'm about to ask a dozen questions when my apartment door handle jiggles from the outside. I don't answer the door right away. I stand still and listen, heart hammering. Because if it's Grant, I'm not ready to be brave. The jiggle stops. Then there's a soft knock. 2 taps, pause, 1 tap. The old code. When I open it a crack, Caleb is in the hallway wearing his school hoodie like armor. His eyes are red around the edges like he's been crying without letting it show. Mia, he whispers. Don't call me again. Mom checks the logs. You came here, I whisper back. Are you okay? He shoves something into my hand. A cheap prepaid phone, the kind sold near the checkout aisle. This is the one they use, he says. I took it from the drawer in Grant's office. Don't turn it on here. Go in your car. What's in the basement? I ask. Caleb's jaw clenches. It's not just stuff. It's records. And cameras. And, he swallows hard. And a list. A list of what? He looks over his shoulder like the hallway has ears. People. People they help. People who owe them. My stomach turns. The scholarship fund. Caleb nods once. Tiny. The account in your name is the funnel. Mom says it's temporary until the audit passes. Grant says you'll take the heat if anyone asks. I stare at the burner in my palm, plastic and warm from his pocket. Why are you telling me now? Because last night, he says, voice cracking. Grant told Mom you're getting difficult. He said the only way to keep you quiet is to make you scared. As if on cue, my laptop pings with an email notification from an address I don't recognize. Compliance@Ridgeview Foundation. Org. Subject line, request for supporting documents, due 48 hours. Caleb flinches at the sound. They're going to blame you, he says. They already started. He backs away fast. I can't stay. If Mom sees my location. Caleb, wait. I say, but he's gone. I lock the door, grab my keys, and sit in my car with the burner. The screen lights up with one unread text from a saved contact labeled G. If Mia talks, release the footage. My hands go numb as I realize what footage must mean. I drive to First County Bank the next morning because it's the return address on the envelope and because panic doesn't pay rent. The lobby smells like carpet shampoo and old pens. At the counter, I slide my ID across and keep my voice steady. My accounts are restricted. I need to know why. The banker, a woman with a neat bun and tired eyes, types, frowns, then glances up like she's deciding how much truth I can handle. Ms. Hart, there are multiple ACH transfers flagged as unusual, she says. Large incoming donations, then immediate outgoing wires. How large? I ask. She turns her monitor slightly. I read the numbers. $9,800. 00 on December 12th. $7,500. 00 on December 19th. $12,300. 00 on January 3rd. Each one arrives labeled scholarship donation, then leaves within 20 minutes to an account called HFO operations. Another line makes my throat close. Cash withdrawal for $1,000. 0 to 10:18 p.m. That wasn't me, I say. The originating IP for the wire requests matches the home address on file, she adds. My mom's spotless kitchen. My stepdad's quiet hands. I get printed statements, initial an affidavit, and walk out with paper proof and a pounding head. In the parking lot, I turn on the burner and scroll through its notes app. There's one entry, all caps. Unit 318. Access to's. Bring envelopes. Diane meets me at my apartment an hour later in jeans and sneakers, like she's been waiting her whole life to fight. Show me, she says, and when I hand her the statements, her mouth goes tight. We drive to a storage facility off Route 9, sun-bleached signage and security cameras pointed like eyes. Diane pays cash at the desk and asks for Unit 318 like she belongs here. The clerk doesn't even blink. Inside the unit, the air is stale and metallic. Stacks of plastic bins are labeled in Mom's handwriting. Event props, prize baskets, church decor. Then I see the lockbox on a folding table. Next to it are 3 external hard drives, each tagged with dates. One label stops my breath. Raw. Do not delete. MIA. Diane's voice drops to a whisper. That's your name for a reason. I reach for the drive and feel my fingers tremble as the box clicks open. The lockbox doesn't contain jewelry or cash. It contains paper, stacks of it, rubber-banded in neat piles. There are donor receipts printed from Stripe, screenshots of Venmo transfers, and a spreadsheet titled Outreach Pipeline, with columns that make my stomach roll. Name, amount, influence, weakness, leverage. Leverage. Diane picks up a page and reads one line, then puts it down like it burns. This is blackmail accounting, she says. I focus on the hard drives because my brain needs something technical to hold on to. I connect one to my laptop in the passenger seat, so we're not inside the unit longer than we have to. A folder opens without a password, like they never imagined I'd get here. Inside are subfolders by date and event. Gala_2025, church_retreat, home_meeting. I click home_meeting. The first file is a video. The thumbnail is our living room. Same throw blanket, same staged Bible, but the lighting is harsh, and the camera angle is low, hidden. The timestamp in the corner reads June 1st, 8:04 p.m. Caleb is on the couch, shoulders hunched. Mom's voice is sweet. Tell us the truth, baby. Caleb's voice is small. I didn't mean to. Grant steps into frame and closes the curtain. Say it louder, he says. Caleb flinches. I spent the cash, he says, eyes shiny. I took $200 from the envelope. Mom leans in. And what happens when you embarrass the family? Caleb swallows. I lose everything. Grant's hand comes down fast, out of frame, but Caleb's whole body jolts. I gasp like I've been punched. Diane's hand clamps over my forearm to keep me from bolting. Mom continues, calm. Good. Now read the apology for the camera. Caleb reads words that are obviously written by Mom. Perfect grammar, perfect guilt. My throat burns because I've edited apology videos like this before and called them accountability. I scrub forward, nauseated, and see more. Donors cornered in our kitchen, private counseling sessions, whispered threats about affairs, addictions, immigration status, people's secrets captured and cataloged. It isn't just money, it's control. But why build a whole perfect family brand just to do this? Then another folder name catches my eye, and my hands start shaking again. MIA, training. I don't watch the MIA, training videos. Not yet. My brain refuses, like my eyes will melt if they see what my mother thinks I need to learn. I copy the entire drive to an encrypted folder on my laptop anyway, watching the progress bar creep while Diane keeps lookout. Police, Diane says for the 3rd time. This is felonies. And Caleb is still in that house, I say. If I go loud, Grant goes darker. Diane's face hardens. Then we do it smart. Back at my apartment, I turn my kitchen table into a war room. I print the bank statements showing the donation deposits and the wires out to HFO operations. I screenshot the burner text, if Mia talks, release the footage, and email it to myself with the header intact so the metadata stays. I export the video file info from the hard drive, creation dates, device IDs, file paths, because I know any good defense will scream edited. I find a folder on the drive named Donor Audio. Each file is labeled like a confession booth. MRS_P_01-12, Coach_R_12-20. I don't open them. I just list them, document them, breathe through the nausea. I call the Ridgeview Foundation email from the compliance request. A man answers, voice cautious. This is an internal audit request, he says. We've received concerns about restricted funds. Concerns. Plural. Not just me. Caleb texts the burner at 6:03 a.m. They're filming me again tonight. Mom says it's for healing. My stomach twists. Diane, I say, we can't wait. We decide on a controlled exposure. The church finance committee is meeting tomorrow night to review gala funds before they're transferred to the school. Mom will be there. Grant will be there. It's the one room in town where people ask for receipts. I draft an email to the committee chair from my personal account. Subject, urgent, documentation regarding Hart Scholarship funds. I attach the bank statements and write, please confirm you received this before the meeting. My finger hovers over send, because once it's out, Mom's perfect image starts burning. And then my laptop camera light flickers on by itself. I slap my laptop shut like it's a snake. The camera light clicks off, but the damage is already in my head. They can see me. Diane doesn't debate. She just starts unplugging things. Bag, she says. Keys. Now. We're halfway down the stairs when my personal phone rings inside my tote. I freeze. I haven't heard that ringtone since Mom confiscated it. Diane yanks it out. My phone is powered on, unlocked, like it never left the house. Someone put it back in my bag. Grant's name fills the screen. I answer before fear can. How did you? Mia, Grant says calm. Don't do anything stupid. I know about the account, I say. I have the statements. A soft chuckle. Statements don't tell the whole story. In the background, Mom's voice is bright like she's already filming. Tell her to come home, Grant. We can talk like a family. Grant lowers his voice. Here's what happens. You don't email anyone. You return the drive. Tonight you come to dinner and apologize. We record it. We post it. Then it goes away. And if I don't, he doesn't pause. Then we release the footage of Caleb. The therapy sessions. The town will believe you're the unstable sister who corrupted him. My stomach drops. Diane is beside me, shaking her head hard, eyes blazing. Mom takes the phone. At least I think she does, because her voice suddenly fills my ear. Baby, she coos, you're tired. You're spiraling. Come home and let us help you. I can't, I whisper. Her softness vanishes. Then you don't get to be a heart anymore. The line goes dead. For 1 weak second, I almost turn around, because exile hurts worse than fear. Diane grips my shoulders. They planted that phone to scare you, she says. And it worked. We get to the car, and Diane starts calling everyone I'm too scared to call. Committee members, the foundation contact, anyone who can timestamp that we tried to report. If something happens to her, she tells one voicemail. Check your email. My hand shakes so badly I can barely hold the burner. The burner lights up. Caleb texts. He found the unit. He's coming now. We don't confront Grant at the storage facility. We watch his truck roll in, watch him scan the lanes like he's hunting, and we leave before he can spot us. The only way to beat him is to stop playing inside the house rules. We drive straight to the one place Mom can't lock with a deadbolt, other people. The church office smells like coffee and carpet cleaner. The finance committee chair, Mr. Caldwell, meets us with a tight smile and a printed copy of my email, time-stamped and initialed. I received your attachments, he says. I didn't open them yet. I wanted you present. Diane sets my folder of bank statements on his desk. Open it, she says. He flips through, eyes sharpening with each line. These transfers, he murmurs, they're not to the school. They never were, I say. Caldwell swallows. I'm calling an emergency meeting tonight. Vanessa and Grant will be here. My skin crawls. They'll try to charm you. I know, he says. So we'll do it formally. We'll record minutes. And if this is what it looks like, we notify law enforcement. We build the trap in the open. Caldwell schedules the meeting for 7 p.m. in the fellowship hall, the big room with the projector and the church livestream camera. He sends the invite to Mom and Grant with financial review in the subject. I forward the foundation compliance request. Diane prints the donor audio file list. We label everything and make copies. At 3:47 p.m., Caleb texts the burner. Mom says I'm not allowed to leave after school. I type back, go to the library. Sit by the windows. I'll come. Diane's voice is tight. If they're watching him, they'll watch you. I know, I say. But if he's in that house when this blows, he'll be their hostage. At 6:30, I pull into Ridgeview High's parking lot and spot Caleb through the library glass, pale and rigid like he's holding his breath. Her headlights flood my mirrors, and my phone buzzes with a single word, smile. And then I see Mom's SUV slide in behind me. By 6:55 p.m., the fellowship hall is filling with committee members and staff. The projector hums. The church livestream camera points at the front table where Caldwell sits with the treasurer and a thick binder labeled gala funds. Diane and I sit behind them, Caleb wedged between us like a witness in hiding. Mom enters like she's arriving at an award ceremony. Hair perfect, smile bright. Grant follows half a step behind, hands clasped, eyes scanning exits. When she sees me, her smile doesn't falter. Mia, Mom says loudly, sweetly for the room. I'm so glad you came. We've been worried. Caldwell doesn't smile back. We're here to review restricted funds and transfers. Mom laughs like it's cute. Transparency is our family value. Caldwell opens my attachments on the projector. The bank statement fills the screen, deposits labeled scholarship donation, then outgoing wires to HFO operations. He reads the amounts out loud. $9, $800, $7,500, $12,300, and every number lands like a hammer. Mom's smile finally twitches. That can't be right, she says, voice airy. Mia handles the accounts. My stomach drops at how fast she throws me under the bus. Grant leans in, gentle as a pastor. Mia has been unstable lately, he says. She gets obsessive. Diane stands. You mean she gets accurate? She snaps. I plug in my laptop and pull up the file list from the drive. These videos were recorded in your home, I say, voice flat. Here are the timestamps and device IDs. Here's the spreadsheet titled Outreach Pipeline with a column called Leverage. Caldwell's face drains. Mr. Hart, can you explain that? Grant's calm cracks. You don't understand what it takes to keep people in line, he says, and the room hears the ugliness. This town wants saints. We give them saints. Caleb's foot stops bouncing. He looks up, finally meeting the committee's eyes. He hit me, he says, voice small but clear. And Mom made me read it for the camera. I click play on the home_meeting clip. The hall goes silent as Caleb flinches on the screen and Mom's recorded voice coos. Read the apology for the camera. Mom lunges toward my laptop, eyes wild. Turn that off. And that's when the fellowship hall doors swing open. Two uniformed officers step into the hall with a plainclothes detective behind them. And for a second, I think my brain is trying to give me a movie ending. Then the detective speaks to Caldwell in a low voice while the livestream camera keeps rolling. Mom's eyes dart, searching for someone to charm. Grant's shoulders square like he's deciding whether intimidation will still work in public. The detective asks for the reporting party. Caldwell points at me. I stand, throat tight. I have documentation of unauthorized transfers from an account opened in my name. I say. I hand over printed statements, the affidavit copy, the donor audio file list, and videos of coercion and assault. Mom goes pale. This is a misunderstanding, she says fast. My daughter is unwell. Grant steps forward. Those files are stolen, he says. Private therapy. Caleb flinches at the word. The detective asks for the hard drive. I give him a copy, sealed in an envelope Diane dated and signed. He nods like he's done this before, like perfect families always crack the same way. By the time I get home, Mom's Instagram story is up. Watery eyes, soft lighting, my captions in her mouth. Pray for our family. Lies are trying to tear us apart. An hour later she posts another. Mental health is real. Sometimes the people you love become unsafe. And people believe her, because she's been training them to for years. My job calls the next morning. We saw something online, my supervisor says. Do you need personal time? It isn't kindness. It's distance. The foundation freezes the scholarship fund. Donors demand refunds. The bank forwards the fraud packet to investigators. The town splits into Team Vanessa and Team Trader Daughter. Caleb sleeps on Diane's couch and jumps at every car door outside. On the third night, he sits up at 2:11 a.m. and whispers, if I go back, they'll make me say I lied. You don't have to go back, I tell him. He stares at his hands. Then you have to understand something, he says. The basement isn't just records, Mia. It's where they kept yours. My stomach drops as he tells me what he saw with my name on it. The next 2 weeks feel like living inside a siren. Constant, exhausting, impossible to ignore. Diane drags me to a therapist she trusts, a woman with kind eyes who doesn't flinch when I say the words family meetings and leverage. She helps me name what I've been calling discipline, coercive control. She helps Caleb breathe through panic without apologizing for existing. The detective meets me at the station on a Tuesday morning and walks me through the basics like I'm a person, not a headline. Freeze your credit, he says. Change every password. Don't go alone anywhere. Document every contact. So I do. I put a fraud alert on my social security number. I pull my credit reports and see accounts I don't recognize, an old store card, a line of credit opened 3 months ago, both in review. I screenshot everything, save PDFs, forward them to the detective with subject lines that include dates. I start sleeping with my car keys next to my bed like a weapon. Caldwell emails the committee minutes, official, time-stamped, and I print them too. Paper can't be remotely wiped. Mom tries to get cute. She sends me a Venmo request for $1.00 with the note. Come home and we'll forgive you. Then she has a church friend call Diane and say Caleb is in danger with us. Then she posts a photo of our family from last Christmas and captions it. Some people confuse boundaries with hate. Grant stays quieter, which scares me more. Silence is where he plans. Through the detective, we file for a temporary protective order for Caleb. The hearing is brief, clinical, almost boring, which is a relief, because boring is safety. The judge grants it. Caleb's shoulders drop for the first time in days. That night, I sit alone in my apartment and finally open the folder I've avoided. MIA, training. The first video starts with my mother's voice, gentle like a lullaby. This is how we keep you from ruining us. My hand shakes so badly I have to pause it and breathe. Diane texts me from the living room. You don't have to watch that alone. I type back, I do. I need to know what they have. On the next clip, I see my face on the basement feed. 3 months after the gala, Ridgeview stops feeling like a stage and starts feeling like a town again. The church removes Mom from leadership, pending investigation. The foundation publishes an audit summary. The detective tells me the case is moving forward. Fraud tied to the account activity and separate reports tied to the recordings. Nothing is as fast as the internet promised, but it's real, and real is what I've been starving for. Caleb enrolls in community college instead of chasing the scholarship that came with strings. The first time he wears a hoodie without checking for wrinkles, he laughs like he's surprised he's allowed to. Diane keeps her blunt routines, coffee at 7, walk at 9, and insists that calm is a skill, not luck. I quit running my mother's accounts. For a while, I can't even open Instagram without feeling sick. Then my therapist helps me name the grief. I'm not just losing my family. I'm losing the fantasy I sold to thousands of strangers. I participated. I edited out the bruises. I wrote the captions. That truth hurts, but it also gives me power because it means I can choose differently. Here's what I tell anyone living inside a perfect image that feels like a cage. Save proof in more than one place. Email yourself screenshots with headers. Print key documents. Use timestamps. Write down dates, amounts, and exact phrases. Get witnesses. Bank affidavits, committee minutes, official reports. Paper trails matter. Protect your identity early. Freeze credit. Change passwords. Use two-factor authentication. Expect narrative warfare. They'll call you jealous, unstable, ungrateful. Some nights I still hear Mom's voice, soft and deadly. Don't ruin us. Now I answer it out loud. I didn't ruin anything. I stopped lying.